Welcome to my World of Tanks Secrets number 15. So I wanted to show you the Tusk, those of you who haven't seen this before. The Tusk is a black flag, meaning it's a mercenary contract tank. It's kind of a cobbled together design of several tanks thrown together as a fantasy using World War II era technology as a basis. They have a lot of cool tanks there. But the Tusk is kind of a vicious contract. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on this one. There's a couple of tier 10 contracts, and they're not really doable for a lot of players. And I want to let you know what to look out for before you make a mistake. You can always cancel out of it. But what it boils down to is that if you look down here, let's look at the final stage, which I'll be there relatively soon. You can use World War II or Cold War, which is fine. So you can always do it to a degree. But the final contract section of the Tusk is a light tank and tank destroyer. The one I'm on, I'm almost finished with number 7. And that means you can use light or tank destroyer tier 9 or above, and also you can use tier 9 or above medium tanks. But the zinger of the Tusk contract is this one. Go back to stage 5, where on the first section of stage 5, assist with spotting damage that totals at least 1 times your maximum health battle in 8 battles. So when I did it, I was using the 63I, which is the Red Nation Cold War light tank. That one had a 1500 HP, and so I had to get spotting damage of 1500 or more in 8 battles. So I did that. It took a while, but I had to experiment because I didn't know how to get the damage. So how to get it registered. So the Tusk is very difficult because you must have these tanks to do this. One of my friends does not have a light tank that's any good. He was doing this 8 out of 8 challenge in a medium tank. He actually did 2 of them. It's really hard to do in a medium, but it can be done. He did it. He almost got at least one more time. He got close and just didn't quite make it. One time I was playing in a medium, and I got like 3,200, but it was some assist spotting and some damage spotting, like damage assist, like direct damage. So it didn't count. I was like, 3,200, it didn't count, you jerk. So in the light tank, it all counts because that's the only kind it really gets. So it's just very difficult. And if you don't have these tanks, it doesn't matter how good you are. You know, I could do this contract in a tier 9 tank destroyer, but it would take you forever because they're slower than dirt. And the matches are never long. I mean, never short. Not in a good way. I mean, they can be short if you die. So, I mean, I did keep track that was a possibility. This is light tank and tank destroyer. That's number 5 is everything. You can do anything you want. And I think the first 5 are like that, where you can do any 5. Some are better than others, but it's a personal preference. So you can get by, but it's tier 9 and above on the first 5 on the whole thing, really. Let's double check the first one. It's a zinger. Yeah, this is a 9 and above for the entire contract. It's really hard. And other contracts like this that are super hard, the chisel is super hard. So you got to look at the contracts and see what you have available. Do you have these tanks? If you haven't been playing for several years, you probably won't have the tanks unless you've already bought them. At that point, you know, rock and roll. It's all fine. So just keep your eyes open. Don't set your goals on, well, I need a tier 10 tank. If you need a tier 10 tank badly, go work your way up the chain. I am technically on the fourth one that I'm working on. I actually have two tier 10 artillery because that's what I cared about. American and French, because the French has an autoloader. I wanted to try it out. So I had to slog through that, which I did. It's fine. I have a tier 9 German tank destroyer, and I have a tier 8 American light tank. So I'm close to getting 2 more tier 10s. And that's it for me, man. I'm not doing medium. I'm not doing heavy. Do what makes you happy. Don't do it because you're trying to impress somebody. That's just an advice. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. But if you want to make yourself happy and enjoy it more, because going to tier 10 is not enjoyable by itself. Unless you're in a tank that you like. I like artillery. I'm fine with that. It doesn't bother me. The light tank one was getting kind of rad a little bit, and the tank destroyer also. It's just really it's long and slow. I mean, I like playing tank destroyer from time to time, but that's why I spent a couple of years goofing around, do some tank destroyer, got myself up to level 6, took a break, and then contract situation came out. I go, well, good. I'll use this contract. It was a jammer. I used the jammer contract to motivate me to do tank destroyer 7 and 8. And after that, I said, well, I'll have the 9 available for Tusk if I need it. But I'd rather go light tank because that's what I'm really good at. In one of my videos, you'll see that is the case. Because I was trying to do a demonstration of one thing, and it turned out something different, and it was better. So good, I couldn't not leave it in. So it's like a bonus. I'll just put it that way. It's kind of a secret bonus. Go look at my videos. You'll find it. It's before this one. So that'll make it easy for you to find. Make it a little fun for you to look as well. So just be aware of contracts. What you should do is start off with ones that look easy. Now, in the contracts that we have, let's look at this, shall we? Let's look at something that's actually an easy contract. Or let's rate the contracts, maybe, is a better way to do it. Here we go. Cruncher tier 8. No, I'm sorry, that's tier 8, right? Yeah, tier 8 Cruncher, medium difficulty. Tusk and Chisel, top of the line difficulty. The Tusk has the best payout of any contract, but don't do contracts for payouts. Do contract because you want to get that crazy tank. I want to have a tier 10 mercenary light tank. And so I did that. I don't want the Chisel. I'm never going to go after the Chisel. The Jammer was very gettable. I have the Hammer. That is an awesome tank. I'm a Tiger tank guy. I got this from the store premium. It's a premium vehicle Tiger tank. You get a bunch of extras on this. If you want a Tiger tank, that's awesome. Get the Hammer, dude. It's awesome. It's just awesome. The bucket, I didn't care for this. I thought it was kind of mediocre. Tier 4, easy to contract to do. So do the it's a fun contract to do. It's not very difficult. So you get something without killing yourself. It's a good contract to start on to try it out and go, hey, how would it be to do contracts? We'll do the bucket first and then go, oh, that was fun. If it's too tedious for you, well, that tells you you don't want to kill yourself. After I finish my Tusk, I'm going to do Deadbolt. This one's probably about a 4 or 5 day contract, just, maybe a week at the most, just goofing around. This looks like a fun tank. I mean, it looks cool, doesn't it? I have the reach, nothing difficult. If I didn't have the Hammer, I'd do the Hammer. So I'm just saying. And I'm not even, I don't like heavy tanks in general, but I love Tigers, and it's a beauty. It's just an awesome tank. So if you've never done a contract before, do the bucket. Now, there's a bunch of other ones. They cycle in and out. And so there's ones that I've done. I've done the Thresher, the Caboose, the Needle. I'm just looking for the stuff that's not here. There's a Long Bomb. I did not do that one because I was like, I don't want to do contract. No, 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 no. And then my friends are talking about it. I'm like, I can do that. I thought I can do contract. I go, oh yeah, I can do that contract. Okay. But the tough ones, kind of the badge, if you want to call it a badge of honor. I did the jammer, which is not on there as well. Jammer was a tier 7, separates the men from the boys. Basically, you just got to have the items that you need. And it's more fun if, like myself, you have the items to do your contract and you earn them through playing the game, through the seasons, or through ops, or from card draws, or picking up key cards and collecting the gold over time. You're going to buy it like that. Like I bought this Amex Chaffee. This was a 2,000 gold, maybe a hair more, maybe 2,100. It was a bargain in the store. They had it on sale, and my friend got it. And he told me this is awesome. And he told me, okay, I got it. I had to have it, and it was really tremendous. So that's the best part, is just doing the stuff and picking up the bargains when they show up, because they almost every tank essentially goes on sale at some point. So, the people in my mind, there's two ways to do it. Pick up what bargains they're interesting to you when they show up, or torture yourself by waiting for things unnecessarily, or trying to get things specifically, and if it doesn't show up, and you're just kind of in a bad situation. Because one of my other friends, the guy who told us a lot about how to earn the key cards, how to earn and farm key cards, he has a great saying, and his saying is this: there's a tank, realistically, it could be any tank. The general implication is there's a premium tank that's going to be awesome for any op that you see. And that's the thing. So when the ops come up, some ops are easy, some are not. Some are easy for you, some are easier for me. That's just, a style of play thing. But there's a tank that will make every op easier. When I was doing one of the other contracts, I already had the needle. And when I read it, the section, I'm like, oh man, the needle would be good for this. And my friend was like, yeah, it would be good for that. So there's different things. Every tank has its strengths and weaknesses. Some are faster, some are stronger. They turn better. They have different attributes. There's so many different variables that they're all unique, like a fingerprint. So that's the thing. Like when I was doing the pirate 3-card qualification operation, you had to do tier 5 and above. So tier 5 and above, I was doing stuff. I go, you know what? Let me go to tier 5. Now I don't really play a lot of heavy or heavy or medium tanks, so I didn't have some really good stuff like Panzer 5.4. I've never had one. I just haven't. So I thought, well, I picked up this was a bargain tank. Another one that was like under 1,000 gold was this LEF H1882 French howitzer, tier 5. So let me try this, dude. I tried that out. First game, I killed 3 guys. It was like, and in that operation, there was a kill 20 guys in stage 2. Well, kill 20 tanks. I'm like, okay. One of the problems you have in medium tanks or heavy tanks is people are trying to steal your kills. Well, one thing about artillery is the kill stealer. So I didn't worry about guys stealing my kills. I'm artillery. I'm pounding guys before they can get there. So super awesome. So that worked great. So again, this just shows that this ugly looking, and I mean this dude is ugly, okay? This French artillery, this thing is, oh man, is it slow. This dude is slow. This dude goes like 7 up, weak hills, it goes 7 or 8 kilometers per hour. It is slower than dirt. But in the artillery world, works pretty good. So there's an op, there's a tank for every op. Sometimes it's a premium, sometimes it's a tech tree tank. So as time goes by, as you're picking up tanks. We'll look at this for a second. Let's take the premium. Okay, we have all the things off. So my tanks, I only have 55 World War II tanks. I don't have that many. I don't go chasing tanks. Ooh, I need this. Ooh, I don't need that. If it's a bargain and it's good, I'll get it. There's no rush. I don't have it now, so I don't need it because I'm doing great things with the things that I have. Get what you like, play what you like, have the most fun. Hey, if you need 500 tanks to have the most fun, then I suggest you get 500 tanks. Do whatever makes you happy. But if you do it like I do it, I get free tanks. I get free premium tanks just by being smart, being frugal, which is a fancy word for cheap. So, like yesterday, when I have a video of opening 30 blue cards, it was fantastic. I never bought anything from the World of Tanks store ever. But for this channel, I said, I'm going to buy these, do this, make a video to be awesome. I did it. Oh, man, it was super awesome. You normally expect the expectations of the 30 blue card pack is a hair over 5,000 gold plus whatever tanks and whatever multiplier tokens you get in those cards. I ended up getting, because of super luck, okay, don't think anything else. But part of it is because the super luck, part of it was because we do gold farming and key card farming. Last week I picked up a BT7 artillery. Nothing spectacular, tier 3 gold, premium tank. So tier 3 premium tank with 150 gold. No big deal, nothing spectacular. But yesterday, out of one of those cards comes BT7 artillery. Bammo 850 gold refund right there. Also, I picked up a tier 7 ISU 122S. That was fantastic. Tier 7 tank destroyer. Really good stuff. And then a few cards later, I got exactly the same tank. That means, boom, instantaneous gold refund, 47.50. So because I got 2 tanks repeated that I already had premiums, my gold refund was 5,600. So I got 5,000 gold from those cards plus 5,600 gold refund. Those 30 cards, I did what is not impossible, highly unlikely. I got 10,600 gold from 30 blue cards. If you buy the 30 blue card pack and don't have have tanks in there in your possession, which I had those tanks, or some of those, I had one of those tanks anyway. You're not going to get that. So you have to build up your tank stash. Like, let me go through these real quick and show you stuff. All right. Stuff like all of these tanks are either they're free themselves from an op or from a card or from celebration thing. Like T16X was a free premium given to everyone at the time, 7-8 years ago. T2 Light was okay, that's the other thing. It was a tank bought with free gold. I bought a T2 Light with free gold. Locust free to every player at the time, several years ago. T4E1 came from the Ultimate Season Pass. I basically paid 4,000 gold for this tank, and it was awesome. But it's like an 8,000 gold tank. Freedom, that's a season. Eagle 7 season. Hellcat 105, that was the season. T78 was the season, I think. M56 Scorpion, awesome season tank. Just last season, it was awesome. Vanquisher AC1, previous season to that. Same thing with this Frostbite, Canadian M4 Sherman. This is this season, right? AB, whatever the heck this is, some British tank. Sexton 1, I got this from the premium store, free gold. Paladin from card, something like that. I think it was a card, something like that. Excalibur, that came from a card yesterday. Panzer, what is this? Panzer something J. Let me do this. I gotta, my thing is Panzer 2J. That was bought with free gold. Aguila Season Hammer, bought that with free gold. Panzer 5 M10. This is a op, some kind of op free tank. Panzer T25, I think it was an op tank. This is Scorpion Tier 8 tank destroyer. I think it was an op. AMX Chappie was bought from the store with free gold. HMH M51 Super Sherman. This was stage 100 of this current season. This was bought from the store with free gold. B7 artillery, BT7 artillery, got one of those got one last week, got a duplicate yesterday. So that one, this one has already generated 850 gold. So this tank is it a great tank? No, but it paid me 850, so it's great now. BT5, that is some German light tank. I don't remember. Might have been a card. It was something free. Tetrarch bought that from the store with free gold. It's a tier 2 blast from the past. T29 was another free one we got way back many years ago. Honor T28E, the dark, this is the darker paint job with the extra red star on there. It's just like a ceremonial tank. That was from a couple of seasons ago. FG T34, it's Fighting Girlfriend, season tank. T34S, this current season tank. ISU 122S, that was yesterday's bonus tank destroyer. Got 2 of those. One to keep, one got me 4750 gold. So already the ISU I-122S is already the most profitable tank destroyer I own, and I've never played it yet. HMH, Heavy Metal Heroes version, ISU 130. This is a tier 8 tank destroyer, Soviet Union. It's like 12,000 gold. I got this out of a top secret red card like 3 or 4 months ago or 5 months ago, whatever it was. Just a random card that showed up, I think it was that 3 or 4 months ago. Trinity Mark II. This is a season tank for free. Absolution, same season as the Trinity Mark II. Both are, as you can see at the very bottom, they have the dark flag. So they're mercenary tanks, but those were free in the season. So all these tanks that you see, or that you saw, let me do this again. I didn't pay for any of these tanks. I don't go out and buy tanks. Why would I? Look at the great tank selection I have here. And I got these one way or another. These are all free tanks. I did not pay any money for these tanks. The only money I paid was yesterday when I did the 30 card bundle. I'm thinking about doing another one of those for channel purposes, and then I have to keep whatever comes out of it, so that's fine. But I've never bought a tank with money that I bought whatever. So right now I'm sitting with like 10,100 gold. I paid cash for this gold, okay? So whenever I buy a tank with this, if that's what happens, then I will have paid cash. I paid, basically, it was $37 plus tax. It's $40 is what I paid total, and that was just to buy cards. Because my friend had done the same thing. He had bought the top secret cards. I figured, well, you know what? I looked at the stash of the confidential blue cards and said, I have a bunch of these tanks. Let's take a chance and try to double cross your fingers that you get a gold refund. Well, I got not one, but 2 gold refunds. Awesome. So I was super lucky. You know, if you bought, the thing is, you can go, let me go there and I'll show it to you. So I want you to not misquote me or whatever. I'll show you what I did. Key cards. Went here. If you want to see what the key cards give you, hit the yellow Y button. Bammo, it'll give you the payout of what's available. But basically, let me summarize it. What you get in blue cards, every card will have 150 gold. There's 3 slots. There's 1 slot for gold, 1 slot for item, 1 slot for item. When you get a tank, you get a 150 gold tank, and then whatever the other item is. Doesn't matter. If you get, like I got 4 cards that were extra gold, which was 2 250s and 2 300 golds. So those were gold 150 plus a gold plus like a vehicle booster. And the other one, that's for 250. For the 300, it was like gold plus, 150 gold plus 150 gold plus another item of vehicle booster or whatever. So they all are going to have 150 gold. Some will have an extra gold slot, basically in there. One of the things that has happened to me in the past, but did not happen yesterday, is a 5% chance that you get the card, has a card as one of the 3 slots. My friend, he had a card that was card with a card, and then that had a card again. So you got 3 for 1 once, and it was awesome. They were all minimum, but it was like you got 3 cards. Instead of 1 card, you got 3 cards. So mine were all just single cards. I didn't complain. You get 4 tanks. Now, the tank payout in every card is the same, not the pirate. Pirate is different. But red, blue, and black, those are 10%. You open the card, 10% chance you get a tank. So you get 30 cards, and that's why I got blue. They all have 10%. The red card top pack is 27, and I don't know what the black one is. I didn't look at it. That one is, I think, 22. Yeah, it's 22. So there's 22 cards in the black pack. So you get 10%. Well, in the black pack, that means really you're going to get on the statistical average 2 tanks. Statistical average for blue is 3 tanks. I said 3 is better than 2. Let's go with blue. And I had those tanks already where I could have a legitimate shot of getting refund, which I got one. Black, I don't think I had any of those tanks, and red, I might have had 1. So I didn't do it that way. So I went with blue, worked out great. Now, if you do the same thing, don't expect what I got. 4 is 1 statistical jump higher than the average, which is 3. So yeah, it was. It's like saying average is 50%, right in the dead center. Well, I got shifted to say 60% of what. I don't know what the maximum you could get. Well, the maximum would be like 30 tanks. Obviously, you're not going to get that. It's a once in a never has happened occurrence. Astronomical odds is what that would be. But I got very lucky. You take it, but you need to make your decision. Go and I made my decision, and it was, well, I'm going to get 5,000 gold, 5,000 to 5,400 in that range of gold, plus tanks, plus whatever else. I go, that's fair. I'll take that gamble. Worst case scenario, I'm going to get 5,000 gold, okay, plus tanks. So I did that. Worked out great. But just take into account, you're not guaranteed. My friend had 2 of the red card 27 packs. His first pack, he got 1 tank and a ton of gold and a ton of other items. His second one that he got, his wife got for him, he got 5 tanks. So the statistical average of the red card is 2.7 tanks, which is almost 3. So in 2 packs, the statistical average was 5.4. He got 6. Also a hair above average, maybe 3 hairs above average. he did great. When he got the 5 tanks, he got 2 refunds as well, because he also got the same tank twice, which was really bizarre. He got one that he already had, and then he got another one that he had previously gotten. So he ended up in that second one, he got, oh man, he got like almost the full $100 of gold. He got like 23,500 or something like that. When 25,000 gold is $100. Okay, if you have $100, you give him $100, bam, 25,000 gold. Well, what's the fun in that? There's no fun there. He got 3 like awesome tanks in those cars, and those change every season. He got those the previous season, so those were fantastic for him. He totally just did great. So he did great. I did great. If you do it, you could do great, but you just got to look at it and go, hey, I'm expecting 3 tanks, 5,000 gold. If that's your expectations, you're gonna do okay. You might get luckier, you might not. I got super lucky with 2 refunds, so I got more than double the expected amount of gold. Jackpot. Okay, so I'm just saying, there's all kinds of ways to have fun. Define your fun, set up your fun, and go get your fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This is an awesome video for me. It was really great. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. And thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.